πειράζει, θα μιλήσω αγγλικά, που είναι λίγο πιο εύκολο για μένα. Thank you very much for your flexibility. Before the very important conversation about the future of the grid here in Greece, I would like to shed a bit of light and bring some ideas about a study that we have seen come across in Germany. This morning there was already some conversation about, the importance of the grid and the growth of the Greek energy market. Let me start. Here we go. So recently, a very interesting study was released in Germany by some of the most renowned research institutes led by the Fraunhofer Group about comparing different scenarios of, the future of energy transition. One scenario focused on electrification, one focused on a heavy hydrogen focus, and another one on synthetic carbons. And it was looking at the energy transition until 2050. The very clear result was that the full electrification scenario, with a little bit of hydrogen, of course, would beat the other scenarios significantly in terms of cost. So it was definitely advised to go forward with this scenario. One thing that I found particularly interesting for us here in Greece is the study also analyzed electricity flows, imports and exports across European countries. You see an overview of the different electricity flows here. And what you can see very clearly is that Greece has the potential to become a very big exporter of renewables. Per capita, even the largest exporter of renewables, photovoltaics, and wind energy in Europe. And I think this could be something that could be an additional motivation for all of us to drive the energy transition in Greece and not only think about our grid and not only think about our market, but really look beyond the boundaries of the country. Here you can see per capita, the Greek exports could reach almost 3 times what Spain and France are reaching. So really significant numbers. I've done a little bit more research myself and, looking at the current situation, 2019, with 11 terawatt hours of electricity imports. And also the gentleman this morning who was presenting his future scenario for Greece, I still saw net electricity imports of 3% in 2040. I don't think this has to be the case. We can really turn this around and drive more towards becoming a renewables exporting country. So this study foresees a net export of renewables of 30 terawatt hours. And it would mean that from a trade balance deficit of more than 700 million euros, and that is not even including diesel that is imported, for the islands, etc., to move to a trade surplus of almost 1.5 billion euros. This would mean that, renewables could become, after tourism and the sea transport area, the third large export industry in Greece. And I think this is something that would be absolutely amazing. Of course, and now turning to our grid session, this would require quite a lot of work on the grid side, of course, within Greece, to be able to transport the electricity within the country from the different renewable sites, but also across countries. So, for example, we would need, transnational lines to Italy, to the Balkans, to Bulgaria and Romania. And the study anticipates that more than between 2 to 6 gigawatt national transmission capacity would need to be built, basically. But I think it's something to consider in the plans going forward, both on the development side, but of course also on the grid planning side and on the policy side, of course. What will we need? We will also need to allow renewable energy sources to access, the grid lines that are transferring electricity to other countries, and we would need to facilitate the export of the same. Let me also, since we're relatively new to the market, let me share a few words about BayWa RE ourselves. Our mother company, BayWa RE, is a large agricultural, energy and construction conglomerate with 17 billion euro turnover in Germany, mostly, but around the world. More than 20,000 employees. We were founded as an agricultural cooperative in 1923. So we work very closely with farmers, for example. On the renewable energy side, the company was founded in 2009. We have 2.5 billion euros turnover. We have global operations in 28 countries, and we're, quite profitable, 116 million euros profitable. Here in Greece, we've actually entered the market through an acquisition in 2013 on the operation and services level. We're now managing 1.2 gigawatts of projects around Europe out of Greece, and a couple of projects in Greece as well, with a team based in Larissa. We have relaunched our project development activities on the wind and solar side in 2018, and we have now a pipeline of 1.6 gigawatts in total, which we are very much looking forward to expand. On the PV side, we have 1.1 gigawatts of fixed tilt and single axis tracker projects. We also have a floating PV pipeline of more than 200 megawatts. And on the wind side, we have more than 300 megawatts in development across Greece. Last but not least, we think, like our approaches of rethinking energy, for example, with the thought about the experts in Greece, we also think of bringing new technology to Greece. As I mentioned, we have floating PV applications. We're the European leader in floating PV. We have installed more than 200 megawatts by now, mainly in the Netherlands. We are active in floating offshore wind, so we're very excited about the market developments here in Greece on that. We believe, looking forward, to produce those terawatt hours, like in floating, we have to marry different applications. So we're very strong also in driving forward the sector of agricultural PV. So putting dual use on agricultural fields, also making use for photovoltaics. And last but not least, we also have a lot of experience in energy storage and hybrids. I have led this market segment over the last 2 years in a global function. I will leave it at that. Thank you very much. And over to the panel.